All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. It's a rainy day, winter, middle of December, week before Christmas. I wanted to share with you guys something that I recently found out myself that I think could help some of you. So, again, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, log out of this, subscribe to the channel, come back and watch it. Turn on the notification bell while you're there. It'll let you know when we put out a video. Trying to put out a video twice every week. Right now it's kind of slow. Maybe go back to 3 times a week once we start fishing more. But right now we're in the off season. If you can see outside, it's rainy, it's wet. There's no ice yet for ice fishing. So what I'm doing today is a little map study, and I found out a new place that I've never heard about on the internet that is super helpful, at least to me, in a couple different lakes, and it might be helpful to you, it might not. So without further ado, I'm going to kind of show you my computer screen here, but everybody's heard of Navionics or the web app. You can get that on your phone, you can get that on your computer. So something that I haven't heard about is what we're going to get into, and we're going to compare it to the Navionics web app. So you're not going to want to miss this. This is kind of a key little thing that I don't think many people know about. So here we go. If you type into your Google search Navionics web app, this is what comes up. Garmin marine apps, then a Reddit saying basically what's going on is decommissioned, yada yada. So what happened is Navionics moved over to this Garmin marine maps. So this is what happens when you click in there. It wants to use my location. I live in Michigan, and there are a bazillion lakes in Michigan to fish. So I'm going to take you to one of the lakes that I fish a lot here as I zoom in. Right here. This lake. This is a lake you have probably seen me on. Well, it will not zoom in correctly here, but okay. So right here, this Oxford Lake, probably under 100 acres, probably maybe even under 50 acres. It's not a huge lake, but this little lake right here is a lake that I have fished quite a bit. And it's a private lake, but it's a lake that I have access to. So, as you can see, there's no contour line. Here's the trick, guys. Here's the secret thing that nobody talks about. Fisher Map. Fishermap.org. When you type that into Google, this is what comes up. So you've got all these different countries. We're going to select the United States because that's where we are. At that point, you have fishing spots, 87,000 fishing spots, or 15,000 nautical charts. So we're just going to... The one thing that is annoying about this, and you just saw it there, is that it pops up a ton of... I went to the wrong one. It pops up a ton of advertisements. So you're going to go to nautical charts. That's going to give you your best defined lines and not just, hey, this is a lake. We're going to see this comes up. This is the one thing about this that I think you can pay to get rid of the ads, but I have not. I have only recently found this. I may find that I am going to do that, but for now, you just click off of the X and it will go away. We're going to come back to our area here. Down in here somewhere. And where are we? We're close. Here's that lake. Here's the little lake. And as you can see right now, there's no... Here's our ad again. We're going to click this off here in a second. This could get annoying to you. I have found it's not too bad, so I deal with it. But you can see none of these lakes right now have any contour lines. If you click on this where it says show, and it's a water body that's across the way, Davis Lake here in Michigan. There's multiple of those. And you hit open, and then you scroll down past all this stuff. Well, here's our ad again. Scroll, we close out our ad, and we come over. This is the lake we opened, Davis. But if you go over, here's our lake. And it has awesome detail as far as a nautical map, as far as a depth chart. You got a shallow flat here with a drop off here. This is a deep channel all the way through here. Deep steep banks here. This is excellent. This is a lake we fish all summer long, all winter long too, and we've never had a nautical map, a map with depth charts. What's the word I'm looking for? Here we do. Now we do. There's a little, and this doesn't, you can get this on your phone as well, and you can zoom in even further. This is as far as this will let me zoom in. I can't go in any further than that. But, so this is one example of a lake that I fish quite a bit that I did not, when I used the web app, the Navionics web app, I did not have access to any contour lines, contour map. That's what I'm looking for. Here's another example, because once I found this fishermap.org, I started thinking of other lakes that I fish that I haven't had contour lines. And when I go up to Traverse City here in Michigan, I fish a lot of little lakes. Come on, go back. All right, so as you can see, I'm struggling here to get this to load anything. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. It might be the fact that I don't have my location turned on, and I'm trying to do it manually. And that's just because I don't want to share my address with the whole world. But as you can see, this is not working that smoothly. If I go over to this, another lake that Navionics did not have mapped is one up here in Traverse City. A lake that we fish all the time is right here. Actually, both these lakes. Brooks Lake, Pearl Lake, and Gary Lake. They all have, these are little lakes. Pearl is the biggest, obviously. Gary Lake's a little pothole, but there's contour lines. It tells you exactly where the contour lines are. Brooks Lake's another little pothole, but there's contour lines. You can tell how deep that gets. It looks like it gets down to, is that 30 feet? 50 feet? And then Pearl Lake, which had no contour lines, it was just a big blob, which is mostly shallow, as it shows here, has a couple deep spots. This is the boat launch. You got a little channel in here with some low spots and some steeper breaks here. And there's your deepest spot in the lake. And then there's another deep spot over here. So, fishermap.org. I'll tell you another spot I fish where I grew up has a ton of little lakes, and I looked on this up here by Lake Ogibic. So if you've heard of Marinesco, I'm surprised, but that is where I am from initially, and there are a million lakes around here. Eel Lake. This is a little tiny lake. got a contour map. Let's see, Bobcat Lake, a lake I love. Big bass in there. My sister, actually, we do a family tournament every year, and we get to pick. All these lakes are really close to home, so you could pick whatever lake you wanted to. And my sister, the second year we did the tournament, went to Bobcat Lake, which I'm gonna find here because I already have found it. I know it's on here, and I know it is right here, and I know it has contour maps, which is absolutely crazy to me. But my sister caught, I think, a 5-pounder and one that was pushing 4 in our tournament and beat me. This was probably 4 or 5 years ago. So this used to be my favorite lake when I lived up there. I do not live up there. It's still one of my favorite lakes. Excellent bass lake. Probably won't be after I get that out there, but there are so many lakes. Pomeroy Lake, which is one of the bigger lakes. Contour map. Orms Lake is a lake that I used to fish a lot. I never had contour maps for any of this. This lake used to be loaded with bass, but the last time I fished it, every bass I caught was 12 inches long. But fun little lake. Let's see, what other lakes have I fished in here? All of these have contour maps. These are little hole in the wall, like little hole lakes. They're not much to them. Moosehead Lake. Look at the contour map. It's awesome. So, anyway, moral of the story here is fishermap.org. If you haven't heard of it, if you are fishing a lake that doesn't have contour lines, check out fishermap.org. It's free. Those ads, as you can see there while I was looking, after you click off the first couple ads, it stops showing up those ads. But there is a paid version, I'm pretty sure. But it seems very user-friendly. You could print this out. You could, whatever. On the phone, you can access it on your phone as well. Very handy, unsung hero because nobody talks about it. I think when I start doing my map study, I'm going to do it from fishermap.org just because there's a lot of mapped out contour lined lakes that I don't think Navionics web app did a very good job with or had done at all, as you can see in a few examples that I gave you. And it's funky to even get into on the computer. I don't know why. Like I said, my location might have been off, but it just wasn't user friendly. Fishermap.org. I went in there, I played around, and you saw the results. All of them little lakes have contour lines, so you can kind of tell what depth you're in, which is going to be a huge focal point for this season upcoming. You'll see a lot of things that we're going to concentrate. Depth is a major thing. So good way to do your lake study at home before you get out on the lake. Check out fishermap.org. Hopefully this helps you. If it did, leave a like, leave a comment, let us know. Share it to a friend that might need it. I should have looked at some Minnesota maps or Minnesota lakes too. I'm sure that's a land of 12,000 lakes or whatever their slogan is. They got a ton of lakes too that are little lakes like that. So it's very helpful for us up here where we're not on these man-made reservoirs that are being mapped out by hundreds of people and things like that. So pretty impressed. Fishermap.org, check it out. Hopefully this helps you. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.